Why is Arabian Sea on the edge? How come parallel naval drills by India and Pakistan are more than military theatre? And meeting of Asim Munir and Trump has direct link with this. Two countries, two navies, one sea, and a message louder than the gunfire that India will not bow down to nuclear blackmail anymore. The two naval drills by India and Pakistan that are taking place parallelly in Arabian Sea have sparked the question of the causes and as well as the consequences. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and today we are not just going to understand that why these naval drills are so worrisome, but also the factors that are playing internationally as well as between the two countries that have led to this particular scenario. So if we talk about the naval drills, these are taking place in Arabian Sea. And the timing is such that as soon as they were announced by India, almost 60 nautical miles away, parallel naval drill is taking place by Pakistan as well on August 11th and 12th. The reason that it becomes so worrisome is the fact that both of these countries, these are not routine exercises. They have been announced in a situation, if you look at from the Pahalgam terror attack, then Operation Sindoor, and these naval drills coming in such a scenario, that too so close to each other, seems like another confrontation in front of both countries. Furthermore, if we talk about the trigger of this very situation, I would like to highlight the fact that trigger is not something recent, but it is something horrific that happened in our country because of the Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, and that was Pahalgam terror attack. Later, it all played out as a domino effect where India retaliated and countered the terror spots which were present in Pakistan by Operation Sindoor, then Operation Mahadev, Operation Akhal, ongoing Operation Akhal. All of these have been the consequences of this very trigger point. After that, if we talk about another reason that this all becomes very worrisome is the strategic location. When we are talking about Arabian Sea, we have to also understand the economic importance, economic significance of this particular water body, because multiple trade routes are passing through it, and it holds also the possibility of accidental escalation. If accidental escalation takes place in these naval drills, then again we are caught up in war-like situation. So that is why just these parallel naval drills happening 60 nautical miles apart are a worrisome situation. But the question is, why all of a sudden these drills are happening? If they are not part of the routine, what is the reason that they have been announced and they are taking place today? So if we talk about understanding both perspectives, from India's side, basically this drill is showcase of the new doctrine where we will not be bowing down to nuclear threats. We are firm believers in swift retaliation as well as proactive defense. It is also clearly signaling that India is ready to project power beyond the land borders and how it stands strong in the triad of Navy, Army as well as Air Force. And it is also directly pointing that how we control a very critical waterway trade route sea body that is associated with us. So this naval drill for India is not just an exercise, a training, but rather showcase of the doctrine that we have established, especially after Pahalgam terror attack. And it is also happening parallelly where Asim Munir is going for the second visit to US. We'll also get into the factors which are affecting it geopolitically. But when we talk about Pakistan's end, that why this drill is taking place, it is basically an answer. They are trying to match the naval presence or the naval exercise that is taking place in Arabian Sea by India. They are in a way just trying to defy India's assertiveness in the Arabian Sea. Furthermore, another pointer that becomes important in here is the fact that they are also trying to show that what kind of military readiness is present at their end in their territorial waters as well. Basically, they are trying to showcase that they can match up to the level of Indian Navy, and they are trying to balance power and also deter India's action. Not that they have been successful in the past, they have their own stories regarding to that, made up stories regarding to that, but they are attempting to balance power and also deter India's action, which usually does not actually work for Pakistan. But the most important question, when we know what has been happening from both ends, we need to understand that what it means for public world. So basically these drills are not just training, they are basically a strategic signaling. From both ends we are seeing that these drills are their ways to reinforce that what is their military standing, especially after the post-war-like situation that we have seen after Operation Sindoor. Now let us move ahead and understand the broader factors, special geopolitical factors that we need to see parallelly to this parallel naval drills exercise that are taking place. The most important one here is the recent threat that we have got from Pakistan's army chief. In this very time, we have seen Asim Munir has visited US for the second time, and he has used the platform to go ahead and boldly say that if pushed, they will take half of the world down with them. This is a classical nuclear tactic that we have always seen from Pakistan's end, that they threaten using nuclear energy, nuclear power that they have at their end. And this time, this comes at this very moment. Basically, they are trying to quote what India has done, especially in terms of Indus Water Treaty and its suspension. So this is a showcase that whatever India is trying to do, they are basically pushing Pakistan into a corner, and Pakistan is not going to take that, and it is going to give it back to India. Furthermore, it also has a direct US connection, because as I said, this is the second visit that we are seeing from Pakistan to US, and this basically is a signal that there are multiple back channels which are opening up for Pakistan, and US might also use the Pakistan hand to bend India in their own ways, because the tariff war that they wanted with India, India has strategically not involved it in it, it has not allowed it to spiral, and it has still stood its stance. To maybe increase the pressure, there is this constant back and forth happening between US to Pakistan channel, and this is also another way to pressurize India into a corner where we are already encountering a rogue neighbor, especially in the Indo-Pacific region. Moreover, in this very scenario, we are also seeing that President Donald Trump in multiple places, in multiple situations, has taken the credit of ceasefire between the war escalation that took place between India and Pakistan. Even though India has denied it and said that the ceasefire talks happened at the DGMO level. So basically what we are seeing, that the US is very much involved in this India-Pak situation, and we cannot ignore the fact that US connection is also fueling the fire and could be a reason that we are seeing these parallel naval drills at present. And last important factor is the India's counter doctrine, because as soon as India came up with the first example of their counter-terrorism doctrine, that Operation Sindoor will be our stance, and it is not going to be an isolated event, it is going to be a continuing doctrine. And such exercises that have taken place, the stance that has taken India has taken at multipolar organizations. Furthermore, how India has portrayed Pakistan's role, it is not suiting well for Pakistan. So this is the friction point that we are further seeing, and we are also finding for Pakistan to digest all the pressure that is coming in from India from multiple sides. Now, this is the reason that we are finding that the tensions between the two countries is rising multiple folds. And the question that becomes very important for us at this point of time, that if all of this goes in the wrong direction, what will happen? That means what are the implications and probable risks that we have to understand and we have to probably cater. In this scenario of parallel naval drills, there is an increased risk of miscalculation. That means the drills are taking place in such a close proximity, plus the tense environment between both of the nation. This could easily lead to an accidental escalation also. So, this possibility is really worrisome. Furthermore, as I pointed in the starting itself, that there will be economic and trade impact which we have to be ready. When we were talking about Israel-Iran, the main choke point we were worried about was Strait of Hormuz. But when we look at Arabian Sea, you will find that maximum potential of trade, especially for India as well as for Pakistan, comes from this region. So, this region, if any kind of escalation takes place, we will be seeing a lot of impact where, especially for global oil shipments, there will be disruptions and that will directly affect the global market and definitely our economy as well. Last but not the least, the most important point that is highlighted as implication is the fact that India has changed the narrative. India has responded and India has been very clear that we are not going to respond to nuclear threats. We are not going to respond to third party interference even if it is US, and we have clearly moved from strategic restraint to proactive defense. We are not going to target just terrorists, we are going to target terror sponsors as well, and they will be treated just like one. And in all of this scenario, be it US facilitating Pakistan, Pakistan going ahead with nuclear threats, Pakistan copying our naval drill, all of these situations, India has been very clear about its strategic autonomy and it will respond and it will stand for itself without any fear, without any pressure, be it of naval drills, be it of nuclear threat or be it of increased tariffs. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.